The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has revealed that it plans to sustain its current partnership with universities as it was vital for the conduct of free, fair and credible elections in Nigeria. Professor Mahmood Yakubu, Chairman INEC, said this at a post-2019 General Election Review meeting with coalition and returning officers in Lagos State. Yakubu said that the Commission was convinced that the roles of the Vice-Chancellors were unique. He acknowledged that election in Nigeria is heavily dependent on the universities. He also applauded the National Youth Service Corps, who were serving nationwide as the bulk of election duty staff at the polling unit level. Still from the umpire, the chairman has confessed the Commission learned a lot of lessons from the conduct of the last general elections. He assured the lessons learned will guide INEC in ensuring that future elections are more credible and better organized. The INEC boss was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 2019 post-election review meeting of the Commission at the Radisson Blu Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos on Thursday. Yakubu, while expressing the determination of his commission to continue to improve on the credibility of elections in the country, said 11 meetings have been held by INEC with crucial stakeholders since the conclusion of the last election. Oluwole Osaze-Uzzi, INEC Director of Publicity and Voter Education, joins us in the studio to shed more light on the lessons learned. Thank you very much for coming on the news, sir.
Thank you for having me.
What's your general assessment of the 2019 elections?
Are you asking me as a person or
yes,
INEC as a commission?
Yeah,
as a
and you're in your capacity as the voice. You've been in the spotlight all this while. So
yes.
Just take us through a bit your experiences through the period.
Well, it was a very challenging time, and good enough we have been practicing democracy and elections for the last 20 years, but never we had as many contestants, candidates in the elections or number of political parties. It was an unprecedented number of people participating in elections. And equally, we had a lot more staff deployed to the field, a lot more observers. In fact, the numbers were unprecedented. So it was challenging in that regard. The unfortunate incidents that led to rescheduling is big lessons learned from that. But then again, when we go to the elections itself, notwithstanding the impressions being created out there, I think it was one of the better conducted elections, notwithstanding some of those challenges which we acknowledge, one of the better conducted elections in the country.
What are some of these challenges and what plans do you have? What ways are you hoping to tackle some of them going forward?
Well, there are so many, but I guess we'll have to segment them. There are challenges about logistics, for example, which we will have to sit down review. There are administrative challenges, which the Commission itself does not need any enabling law to tackle. So all those administrative challenges, regardless of the nature, as long as they're administrative, within the purview of the Commission, INEC will tackle them and see how what it can do to improve on them. But there are others that are more structural. There are others that are required legislative intervention. So we have assured that we will engage with the National Assembly as a lawmaking body, we'll engage with the executive on the need for electoral reform, for a reform of the legal framework that will make it much more suitable for purpose. Then there are other things that need other stakeholder intervention. Security, for example, it's outside of the purview of INEC, it's within the constitutional purview of other agencies. We'll have to, already we've had a meeting, review meeting with the security operators that are involved in elections under the auspices of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. There's a joint committee, not a legal committee, but a committee set up by INEC that has the NSA at the national level and the chairman of INEC as co-chairs, and that goes on to state level and local government level. So that's the work of that committee has been reviewed or is being reviewed as well, and let us see what we can do about the professionalism,